Hello everyone, and welcome back to FDVN's channel. In today's program, we will look into the regulations related to employees' death due to occupational accident and compensation for their relatives according to the law. Every year, we witness hundreds of occupational accidents which cause damage to both people and property. The causes of occupational accidents are various, but mainly due to non-compliance with safety regulations in the working process of both employers and employees. Therefore, occupational accident is always an indispensable content in the labor laws of most countries. So today, let's talk about this topic. When an employee dies due to an occupational accident, what compensation are his or her relatives entitled to? To start with, the compensation regime and responsibilities of the employer and related agencies in case the employee dies due to an occupational accident is prescribed in the Law on Occupational Safety and Health 2015 and its guiding documents. In particular, first, the employer must pay the medical expenses from the first aid and emergency to the stable treatment for the person suffering from an occupational accident or occupational disease as follows. 1. Paying for copayments and expenses that are not on the list covered by health insurance for employees participating in health insurance. 2. Pay the examination fee for assessment of working capacity decrease in cases where it is concluded that the working capacity decrease is less than 5%, where the employer introduces the employee for assessment of working capacity decrease at the Medical Examination Council. And 3. Full payment of medical expenses for employees who do not participate in health insurance. Second, the employer is responsible for compensating the employee having an occupational accident that is not entirely the employee's fault, with the amount specified in Clause 4, Article 38 of the Law on Occupational Safety and Health 2015. In the case an employee suffers from occupational accident that is not entirely his or her fault, the relatives of the employee who dies due to the occupational accident or occupational disease will be compensated for at least 30 months' salary of the employee. In case the occupational accident is caused by the fault of the employee, the relatives of that employee who dies due to the occupational accident are entitled to an amount equal to 12 months' salary of the employee. Third, occupational accident benefit. For employees who die of a labor accident or an occupational disease while working, or die during the period of first-time medical treatment due to a labor accident or an occupational disease, their relatives are entitled to a lump sum allowance equaling 36 times the basic salary according to Article 51 of the Law on Social Insurance 2014. This is the payment regime of the Social Insurance Agency. Fourth, funeral allowance. The person who takes charge of the funeral for an employee died due to an occupational accident, occupational diseases, or during treatment for occupational accidents or occupational diseases, is also entitled to a funeral allowance equal to 10 times the basic salary of the month when the employee dies by the Social Insurance Agency, as prescribed in Article 66 of the Law on Social Insurance. Fifth, monthly survivorship allowance. When employees die due to labor accidents or occupational diseases, their relatives are entitled to a monthly survivorship allowance equal to 50% of the basic salary, or 70% of the basic salary, for relatives who have no direct fosterer. Relatives entitled to a monthly allowance include: Number 1. Children aged under 18 years. Children aged full 18 years or older who suffer a working capacity decrease of 81% or more. Or children whose father died while they are in the womb. Number 2. Wives aged full 55 years or older, or husbands aged full 60 years or older. Or wives aged under 55 years, or husbands aged under 60 years who suffer a working capacity decrease of 81% or more. Number 3. Natural fathers, natural mothers, fathers-in-law, mothers-in-law, or other family members whom the insured are obliged to nurture in accordance with the law on marriage and family, who are full 60 years or older, for men, or full 55 years or older, for women. Relatives in this case must have no income or have a monthly income of less than basic salary. Number 4. Natural fathers, natural mothers, fathers-in-law, mothers-in-law, or other family members whom the insured are obliged to nurture in accordance with the law on marriage and family, who are under 60 years old, for men, or under 55 years old, for women, and suffer a working capacity decrease of 81% or more. Relatives in this case must have no income or have monthly income but lower than the basic salary. Relatives who are eligible for the above-mentioned monthly survivorship allowance and wish to enjoy one-time survivorship allowance are entitled to one-time survivorship allowance, except for children under 6 years of age. And children or spouses that suffer a working capacity decrease of 81% or more. The one-time survivorship allowance for relatives of employees who are paying social insurance premiums or of employees who have their period of social insurance premium payment reserved shall be calculated based on the number of years of social insurance premium payment. For each year of payment, these relatives are entitled to 1.5 times the average monthly salary on which social insurance premiums are based for the years of payment prior to 2014, or to 2 times the average monthly salary on which social insurance premiums are based for the years of payment since 2014. The lowest level must equal 3 times the average monthly salary on which social insurance premiums are based. According to the above regulations, there will be compensation paid by the employer responsible for compensation and benefits paid by the insurance agency. Therefore, you need to prepare the documents to work with the employer and submit the application to fully enjoy the prescribed legal regimes. Above is FDVN's information related to the compensation an employee's relatives are entitled to when he or she dies due to an occupational accident. We hope that the information will be useful to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next videos. Goodbye.